Jake Paul has now arrived at the Anthony Joshua press event, appearing almost like a completely transformed individual. And Joe Rogan has already commented on the change, saying, "This is easily the most massive, muscular, and physically intimidating version of Jake Paul we have ever witnessed while watching him on Netflix."
On Netflix. Against the man who dares to dream bigger than them all, the one and only Jake Paul.
My brother is fighting Anthony Joshua. The experience difference, Anthony Joshua is a former heavyweight champion. He's knocked out heavyweight champions. Quite the undertaking for Jake. What do you think is going to happen?
Expedition.
Oh, they're going to go on an expedition.
Is that a thing?
Exhibition.
Exhibition.
I want him to cut me up. I want him to break my face. But guess what? He's going to have to kill me to stop me. And I'm ready to die. Seriously ready to die.
I'm going to break his face. I'm going to break his body up. I'm going to stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality. And I know what's in my heart. I know what's in my mind. And I'm here to compete.
Are you still being trained by Ben Davison, Lee Wiley? Will Ben be in your corner on the 19th of December?
So no, I won't be trained by Ben Davison. I said that London's a bit distracting for me. So I was invited to train with Team Usyk. So I've been in Spain. We've been doing some good training out in Spain. And I think he's one of the best in the world. Not I think, he is one of the best in the world. And it's not all down to him, it's also down to his team that's around him. So I linked up with them and getting an insight to how someone who's achieved so much has been phenomenal, man. It's been a great experience and it's very challenging.
Wow, I did not know that. So who will be your head trainer on the night?
Igor.
Okay, and how long have you been with them?
A couple months now.
Couple months?
Yeah.
In the darkness, in secret?
No, it's not a secret.
Are you sparring with Usyk?
No, I don't spar with Usyk.
Okay.
Usyk's, he's training somewhere else at the minute, but he's been in camp, but he's in and out of camp.
Okay.
So right now he's training somewhere else.
Jake, what do you make of these changes? This is some breaking news.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, he's training with the best in the world. He is one of the best heavyweights in the world. We expect nothing less. It's great. And I want the best version of Anthony Joshua on December 19th. And it's going to be the best version of Jake Paul that you've seen, and we'll see who's better.
With the AJ matchup only weeks away, the situation feels more dramatic than before. Rogan quickly noted that Jake Paul is treating this bout far more seriously than many supporters ever expected. He is not merely adding a few pounds. Jake is building up like a true heavyweight. His shoulders look broader. His traps are standing out. His frame appears naturally thicker, and he is moving like a man who understands he is preparing to confront one of the most dangerous punchers of the modern era right now.
He beat Wally, and he beat him convincingly.
Yes.
And that's all he can do. And I think that he should take the praise from that and build from it, but he shouldn't want the criticism to stop, because I think it fuels him.
I'm one with you, and I said that to Joshua in one of the interviews that I've done with him. I said to him, listen, like you, I knew he was very angry with TalkSport and the criticism he was getting from TalkSport, etc. And I had that conversation with him and said, listen, Josh, you should be feeding off that. That's what good fighters do. You feed off that. Go and prove them wrong. Like, that's where your fuel should be coming from. And, you know, I think to a certain extent, he's sort of done that. I said, look, you're like, if people are talking about you, it's a good thing, because that means that, you know, you're doing something right.
What would you do differently if you could do the Anthony Joshua fight again?
That's the problem. We did everything right.
Everything right in preparation.
In preparation, we did everything right. You know, like when I fought CB, I went back, I could make a whole list of what I did wrong, what I could have done better. But here, we were very disciplined. We did everything and everybody was professional. You can say this person did this wrong. This should have been like this. This should have been like that.
What advice would you give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors, the opportunities close. You know what I mean? You have to be game. And then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost. You may have got $30 million. You should give Usyk a kiss. Say, can we do this again? Don't let this internalize you. Oh, I can't fight now. This white boy kicked my ass. People are laughing at me. No, he kicked my ass for $50 million or $30 million. I hope he kicks my ass again. But this time it might not work out that way. I'm gonna kick his ass. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best. You have to do it more and more and more.
He wasn't ready for Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua was a different thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just, he's got more one-shot knockout
It was
power.
bad game
He took it
plan
more
as well,
seriously
though.
too.
I know he likes to switch in, but again, like, this is where the boxing is. If you don't have that kind of intellect in the boxing, that footwork and foot positioning is, put your foot on one side, you're going to get killed. You put your foot on the other side, you're safe. You can kind of manage the power and see the punches coming. But he kept switching stances, but just leaving himself in just the wrong positions.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
Wasn't
for
ready.
A guy like Joshua.
Wasn't ready. There was a lot of hype off the Fury fight.
Also, Joshua got to watch him box in the Fury fight and see some patterns. Fury, I think, probably took him lightly.
Yes, I think so.
He's one of the greatest of all time. This guy's never had a boxing match. At the beginning of the fight, he's like, time to go to school. Like, oh, really?
Jake Paul is training as if he is gearing up for war. But with that added size comes the major question Joe Rogan always brings up. What impact will this have on Jake Paul's actual boxing skills? Putting on that much weight shifts everything. Your movement slows down, your conditioning becomes tougher, and your stamina gets pushed in ways you have never experienced. And Jake Paul has never competed at a weight like this before. He is stepping into territory that is entirely unfamiliar to him. Rogan explained that the new muscle could also give Jake far greater knockout strength than he has ever possessed. Jake already carried real power in his right hand. But now, with an additional 20 to 30 pounds of mass driving those shots forward.
And number-wise, the biggest fight in boxing history. Ever. The biggest viewed fight in boxing history ever. And there's been some great fights over time. That is insane, isn't it? And the highest paid fighters as well. What Jake Paul, they're an estimated £170 million split between these two. But Jake Paul, is he really that deluded that he thinks he's going to go in there and beat Anthony Joshua?
Do you think he thinks he can do it, Simon?
I don't know what
he's not short in confidence.
I don't know what he thinks, but what he does do is he markets himself in the space that he operates in. I don't get this Jake Paul or Logan Paul phenomenon, but I'm not the audience. It doesn't matter what I get. The opportunity for Netflix is that it's a drive to subscribe. They'll pay $100 million, and the wraparound fees that come from sponsorship and the event attendance. We saw that $20 million was generated in gate receipts for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. So we know this is a $160 million fight. We know that it makes sense to Netflix to do it, because in the last fight that they had with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they developed 2 million new subscribers. The average lifetime value of a subscriber is $900. So if you look at that and say they're going to generate $2 billion in potential increased revenues as a result of paying these fighters $100 million, you can see the metrics of it. They're also retaining their base. They're also moving content into a different space, which is sport. So it all makes sense. It's like the mobile phone industry that I knew very well used to sell phones for nothing so people could get the airtime. And the airtime was where the money is. The content delivery is where the subscribers go to, and then they pay their subscription. So we all understand the model. As far as the fight is concerned, oh no, don't be silly. I mean, Anthony Joshua can go in his nightgown and beat Jake Paul. The issue is, does he hurt Jake Paul? How curated it is? I debated it with boxers, with Paul Smith and Duke McKenzie and Spencer, about would Joshua go in there with a mindset, which is he knows he doesn't have to get out of second gear, so he doesn't have to do to Jake Paul what people fear he might do, which is knock him into the next life.
Goes to Jake Paul. The cojones this motherfucker has, from a Disney kid to YouTube to he can fight anyone and get views and make fucking money. This crazy wild boy sends out the bat signal, the British bat signal for Anthony motherfucking Joshua. You know how crazy that is? I will say this. I don't think any of Jake Paul's fights are fixed in any capacity. At all. Not even close. I don't get down that narrative. Again, I know online that's a fun narrative, all that shit. I will say this though. My spidey senses will go off if Anthony Joshua doesn't absolutely mop the floor with him. Now, kudos to Jake for taking this fight. My God, dude, you are a brave young man. You deserve every cent for that fight. My word, dude, there's so much respect. So much respect. He worked so hard at the craft. That's amazing. Kudos to you. Here's the reality. Anthony Joshua is a gold medalist in the Olympics. He's a multiple-time world champion. He's fought the best of the best. He's not really over the hill either. If Jake Paul was just another boxer with his resume and his experience, he's about a mid-blue belt. If we're giving you belts like jiu-jitsu, he's probably a blue belt, fighting in main events and all this stuff. If this fight isn't an absolute domination by Anthony Joshua, my spidey senses will go off. Now, that's not to say that I'm not saying Jake Paul has any language in the contract. There's no foul play whatsoever on Jake Paul's part. My skeptical hippo eyes or my spidey senses will come off that Anthony Joshua's not taking this real and he's not putting his best performance forward.
If he connects cleanly on AJ, he really can hurt him. But the challenge is landing clean on a former heavyweight champion who has spent his entire career battling giants. This is where Joe Rogan says the true danger exists. Anthony Joshua is not only big, he is seasoned in operating at that size. He understands pacing, he understands how to use his height, and he understands how to manage distance. Jake Paul is stepping into Joshua's domain, not the other way around. And quickly adding bulk does not instantly make you a natural heavyweight. But Rogan also highlighted Jake Paul's biggest weapon, his almost irrational confidence, his wild ability to believe in himself even when everyone else calls him delusional. Jake has built his career on surprising people who doubted him. He stunned MMA icons. He shocked boxing audiences with the Nate Diaz and Anderson Silva victories. And he surprised analysts with how fast he developed clean fundamental boxing. If the fight swings in Jake Paul's favor, Rogan believes it would come through pure chaos, through speed and unpredictability, through slipping a jab and exploding in with a right hand Joshua never sees. Turning the match into something messy and uncomfortable for AJ, Jake cannot remain stationary, cannot box in a conventional rhythm. His route forward is to stay unpredictable, stay moving, and search for the one flawless punch he has always depended on. But this transformation proves one thing above all else. Jake Paul is fully committed. He is putting his entire body on the line for this fight. And whether fans admire him or despise him, no one can claim he is avoiding risk. He is walking into the biggest gamble of his career without a moment of hesitation. And as Rogan said, Jake Paul may be crazy, but he is the kind of crazy that shifts the landscape.